Hello and welcome to my channel In Search of Wonder, and this is my weekly reading wrap-up. As you might be able to guess, I am filming this on Thursday, which is July 4th, and I think everybody knows July 4th is Independence Day here in the States, so I am all decked out. Got my American flag heart earrings, which I just picked up at the thrift store for $2 yesterday. And I have, you know, my little flag, my flowers, and my coffee cup is, I don't know if you recognize this house here. This is Mount Vernon, which is where George Washington lived, one of his residences. It's a plantation. I'm celebrating the 4th of July in style, and I'm also filming my weekly reading wrap-up right now because I am leaving tomorrow for vacation, and I do not have time between now and Sunday to film anything. Also, well, I mean, okay, I'll have time because I'm going to be a passenger in a car just riding for most of the next 2 days. But I don't think, yeah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to be doing that, including me. So filming in a car while riding, nah. So I'm doing it now. And also I'm not bringing my computer with me, and I cannot edit on my phone. I just can't do that. So I won't have my computer with me, and therefore no video filming or editing will happen after today. So this is not going to be my typical style of reading wrap up because I don't really have anything complete at the moment. It's really going to be more of an update. So I am very excited that Miriam and I started reading Born Up, Gilded Mountains, and we started it July 1st, and we're reading a couple chapters a day. So we're really just savoring it and enjoying it and discussing back and forth our thoughts and our questions, because at the very beginning we definitely had some questions about what we're reading in each chapter, and so far just thoroughly enjoying it. But this will take me the whole month of July, so I'll keep you updated if I have any particular thoughts. Right now, so far, Amanda Dykes just has a way of pulling you in with her beautiful writing from the beginning. But in this one, she really already has sucked me into the story itself, not just the lyrical writing that is just as much poetry as it is prose, but the characters that she just described in the prologue so wonderfully, and then the main character of the story that we are introduced to in the first couple of chapters, and we're just immediately connected to these characters, to the story. There's a bit of a mystery. What is going on? We want to know, and I am just loving all of it. I'm here for it. Bring it. Enjoying this book very much. It might get hard for me to hold back to 2 chapters a day, but I'm gonna try. And then I am more than halfway through Love and the Silver Lining. Funny story about this. So Sarah's Nightstand and Lindsay, they have a Thursday book list videos that they do every week, and they did one, I guess it was in May or June, for summer, and it was like a summer reading challenge sort of thing, but it was this grid with, and you roll die, or you roll a pair of dice, and you roll one number for the columns and one number for the rows, and then you find the prompt that is at the intersection of those, and you read a book with that prompt. And so I thought it would be fun with that to do, because sometimes when I have a big TBR for a month, which is like always, it's a little bit difficult for me to think, okay, what will I read next? Even though I have a limited stack of, let's say, 10 books and not, you know, my whole library, it's like, which one do I want to read? And I struggle with deciding. So what I am using that for is I am going to use it to help me pick which of my books I've already chosen to read this month will I read next. And so the first time I did that was this one, and I believe the prompt was sunshiny or something like that, sunshine, something like that. And I also have this prompt, like a book with a yellow cover for the Beaches and Books readathon, and on the summer book bingo I think there is something on there about a hot cover or a hot place. And so multiple reading challenges have just been encouraging me to pick up this book, and it's also part of my summer unhaul project this was in a stack of books that I just needed to read or eliminate. And so I decided to give it a try. So I am really enjoying it. It is a contemporary story, and I'm not usually big on contemporary, but if it's well done, I'll enjoy it. This one definitely reminds me a little bit of some of the books that I have read by Becky Wade that I really loved. For example, the one, can't remember the name of it, but it's about the Christian woman, like she's a Christian author and speaker, and she writes, you know, Christian nonfiction books, and she's secretly struggling with a drug addiction, and the story goes from there. So it's really kind of a little bit gritty. I'm very heartfelt and grappling with real everyday issues. It's not a rosy life is good. This is what the Christian life, you know, is supposed to look like. It's messy, but it's also full of grace. And I feel like that's Tammy L. Gray definitely has that strong feel to it as well. There's not anything quite that dramatic in here, like drug addiction or something like that. But it's definitely dealing with a girl who, you know, has grown up all of her life as a Christian and a strong believer, but now she's in her adulthood and she's struggling with some big changes in her life, and her parents divorced, and there are some people around her who have just completely laid aside all of the things that, all of the values that have been built into her life. And then all of these people are just like, not all of these people, there are some key people in her life who are rejecting those things and seeming to go in different directions. Her life is falling apart, and so she's just grappling with a lot of change, and it's affecting her faith, and she's trying to figure out where to go from there. So it's really very applicable to our times, I think to any time really, but I feel like especially in our time. And I really am enjoying her journey of faith, and where I am in the story, she's starting to get her feet back a little bit on solid ground, one little step at a time. And there is a romance in this story as well. So I am really enjoying this very much. I'm hoping to finish this before I go on vacation, because I don't want to bring it with me, but unless I stay up all night, I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, not all night, but a couple hours. We'll see. We'll see. But I would like to finish it so I don't have to bring it with me on vacation. I did accomplish something with Les Mis, and I'm very happy about that. So at the end of June, I finally finished Paradise Lost, which was one of 4 books that have been ongoing reads for me for a while. That one, the shortest length of time and the shortest of them, but I finished that one, so that's good. I still have 3, Les Miserables and The Dead Shall Rise, which is nonfiction, and also The Heir of Redclyffe. So let's talk about this one. I finally finished volume 4, which means I only have 1 volume left, and that is volume 5, and it's really getting to the good part here. This is the crux of the story, where everybody's at the barricade and everything is happening. All of the threads are being tied together. The story is coming to its conclusion. It's a very exciting part of the story. However, I'm going to press pause on this unless I decide to pick it up on my Kindle, because I do have the same translation on my Kindle, so I may read it while I'm on vacation. But y'all, I am not bringing this book with me on vacation. I'm sorry, that's not happening. So I felt like volume 4 was a good place to stop, and then I can pick it back up in volume 5. Volume 5 is much shorter than volume 4. It's like 200 pages, so I can easily finish this later on in July, and I'm feeling really good about that. And The Dead Shall Rise, nothing has happened with that. I'm waiting till Les Mis is done, and then I will tackle that one, and that will be my other big book for Big Book Summer. And then the other big book that I've been working on that I forgot to mention in my July TBR video is The Heir of Redclyffe with Miriam. And we have finally gotten like to the 60% mark as I'm making this video. I'm hoping to be a little bit further along. I've gotten a little bit behind of where Miriam is, but I'm hoping in the car over the next couple of days I can catch up and maybe even actually finish it, because I would like to also have that one done and out of the way so I can devote more time to the other books that are actually in my July TBR. So we are in I'm in chapter 27 or 28, I forget. And the story is going along well. There are still 14 more chapters or so, and I'm just wondering what is going to happen. There's so much more in this book lengthwise, but it feels like what was the problem up until this point has been resolved to a certain extent, And so something else big is going to be happening here. So both Mary and I are kind of like, we feel like there's a shoe about to drop. What is going to happen? So that's where I am with that one. That is my update for this week as far as what I have read and am reading. I also did a poll on my community tab in YouTube, and I asked which books I should pack for vacation. Currently, as I'm filming this, these are the books that are winning. Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley, which I am excited to dig into, so I am happy to bring that on vacation. A Most Agreeable Murder, a novel by Julia Seals, which I think will be a fun read. And that is not really strictly Austen related, but it is a Regency story, so it fits with Jane Austen July. And then this has nothing to do with Jane Austen July, but it is with the Teen Ink Society's Reading the Classics Challenge, which is to read a classic dystopian. And this one also is one that has been on my TBR for a long time. I talked in my last video about how I want to be more intentional about reading the books that I have been wanting to read and making sure that when I'm reading, whatever I'm reading, whether it's for a reading challenge or a readathon or just for myself, that it is filling goals of mine, books that I really actually want to read. And this is one of them. So I am going to bring this with me on vacation also, unless the polling changes significantly between now and tomorrow morning when I leave. So those books will come with me on vacation. I'll be reading them. I do have pre-filmed and edited and posted videos definitely for this week, and hopefully also for next week. We'll see if I have time to do that. But otherwise, I'm not going to be doing much in the way of booktube for the next 2 weeks. Got a lot going on. And my next week update, we'll see what happens. I may end up skipping that one. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July, since it will be past by the time you see this. And I hope that you are having a wonderful summer and enjoying it, and that it is filled with wonder and wonderful things. And I will see you next time.